Nelson Mandela said, "When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw." In 1948, the South African government established apartheid, a form of racial segregation that discriminated against non-whites. Apartheid came about due to economic misfortune in South Africa caused by the Great Depression and then World War II. Apartheid was intended to protect the economic interests of whites, but it actually slowly damaged the country's economy, with its effects still being felt. Apartheid adversely affected the South African economy and still does because of unequal education and employment opportunities. Today, South Africa's unemployment is around 28%, but that only tells part of the story. In 2014, Black unemployment is 40%, with whites only at 8%. Years after apartheid ended, the country is paying for its unjust ways. This unemployment discrepancy illustrates the lingering effects of apartheid. Blacks did not receive a proper education during apartheid, greatly affecting their ability to succeed today in South Africa's modern economy. During apartheid, the white children received a quality education when blacks received what was called Bantu education. Bantu education was used to separate blacks and featured fewer resources compared to white schools during apartheid. Studies show between 6 to 8 million adults in South Africa are functionally illiterate. South Africa Info shows 65% of whites have graduated high school, with only 14% of blacks achieving this milestone. Black minorities could not move freely around the country during apartheid because of government restrictions, vastly limiting their employment opportunities and upward mobility. For example, the majority of blacks lived in ghettos like Soweto. Many of these ghettos were protected by South African soldiers. This made it hard for people in the ghettos to come and go as they pleased. Another contributing factor to lingering economic hardship among blacks was that black people could not borrow money on fair terms. This made starting a business or investing in property extremely difficult. Because blacks did not have opportunity but needed to support their families were forced to live apart and take a migrant job. Lots of blacks worked in the mines or on farms, basically as slaves for white families. In fact, South Africa was in the midst of attempting to modernize their country during apartheid with advanced machinery. However, Black South Africans did not benefit from these advances because they were not properly prepared, making it even harder for them to find jobs. In fact, there were two economies in South Africa during apartheid. Blacks worked with blacks, whites worked with whites. This largely has not changed, and blacks today remain unable to benefit from the equality that came from the post-apartheid era. The results of apartheid are clear. The economic empowerment of blacks is not taking hold because of unequal conditions of the past. The lack of education and upward mobility still ripples through the South African economy today, 20 years after apartheid has ended.